start.
Hey guys, and welcome back to We Watched a Movie. I'm Jay, this is Mike, and today we're going to be bringing you the top 10 action-adventure movies of the 2000s. So what's our first number 10 on the list?
That's going to be Rambo.
Rambo what?
Rambo.
Yeah, it's just Rambo.
Technically, it's
It makes no sense why that's Rambo.
It should have been the Fourth Blood.
No, it's too many bloods. First Blood Part 2.
Everybody gave it flack when it came out, so like, really? You're going to do another Rocky and another Rambo? Aren't you old? You know?
He's not old, he's badass.
But, thank God for steroids.
He actually used steroids for that movie, that's for real.
You can't stop Sylvester Stallone.
No. Hey, screw it. That's the one thing about this Rambo movie that separates it from the other three and why it made the top 10 list is the realism of that movie. There was a guy, army guy, that sent a letter to Sylvester Stallone after that movie was released. I think it was a staff sergeant or something like that, and he said thank you for showing what it actually looks like when you get shot by an M16. I don't know why he said thank you, but he did. He was
we need to know.
Yeah, I mean he's like that. He's like, for real. That's exactly what happens when somebody gets shot by something like an M16. They're not just going to get shot in a couple bullet holes and they're going to fall over and maybe get back up where you're going to have to pump them again. They're going to get cut in half. But that was the most realistic and best Rambo, in my opinion. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, Rambo won, but at first 2000s, it definitely belongs on this list in the top 10. Yeah.
It's great. I'm glad that they redid it. Yeah, obviously, it's in our top 10 list.
Yeah.
Number 9, The Patriot with Mel Gibson. You could also go with this one. You can also say it's unrealistic. You know, he basically, took down whole armies by himself. But with
a hatchet.
And they kill his son, which is Heath Ledger. Good performance by Heath Ledger as usual. Yeah. I personally am a fan of Mel Gibson.
He's awesome. Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, he's done some great action movies.
The Patriot was a great movie. I mean, the only part that I remember like really perfectly is when he's riding along with a column of soldiers and he has an American flag with a Union. He's like, ah! It was just so memorable. But so moving on, what's our number 8?
That's going to be The Bourne Identity with Matt Damon.
Yeah.
That's another one of those movies that really kind of changed the genre. James Bond actually took a note from The Bourne Identity when they made the newer James Bonds because it was such realistic action. I mean, who do you think would win in a fight between James Bond and Jason Bourne?
How you gonna kick James Bond's ass? I'm sorry.
I don't know. You take away his all his gadgets and
James Bond is
hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, we're getting off topic. We're getting off topic about that.
Down.
But
he would.
You're so wanting Matt Damon to win this fight.
But then in the end, you would find out that James Bond was just a hologram.
Your face is a hologram. But The Bourne Identity, it really is. It's reset the whole genre for James Bond.
Yep.
I mean, not James Bond, but it was a new James Bond. But okay, stop throwing the movies.
Casino Royale
with Daniel Craig.
Speaking of,
and you say Daniel Craig. Really, it's like, why is he James Bond? Because when I first saw Daniel Craig, and like when you even looked him up, you're like, why is this James Bond?
When you heard he was going to be it, you looked it up, and you're like, that does not look like James Bond. Is it supposed to be a prequel? Is it supposed to be like right when he started
it's like
out?
the very first. Yeah.
And that's why he makes mistakes. He gets beat up a little bit. Again, they kind of took a little bit from the hand-to-hand combat that was in The Bourne Identity. But
I guess
it was the roughest, most gritty James Bond there is, and that's what made it stand above.
And it really set the stage for the new James Bond. After the late 90s with Pierce Brosnan, it kind of staled.
Yeah.
The Casino Royale reinvented James Bond. You do.
No Country for Old Men. James Brolin, Tommy Lee Jones, and
Javier or something.
I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but he was the best part of the movies. But the action scenes were great, the acting was great, and it was directed by the Coen brothers. The reason this movie is only number 6 for me is I thought it was fantastic. And then you got to the end, which there was no end. It just ended. Tommy Lee Jones decided he was going to have a cup of coffee.
You didn't need an ending for that.
It would have been better with an ending.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah. To me, the ending failed the movie. To Jay, it didn't. But
whatever.
We agree to disagree.
Well, whatever. I digress.
That's
actually Javier was the whole when I think of that movie, that's all I think of. He was the best bad guy I've ever seen. Number 5,
The Departed.
It's got Matt Damon, Leonardo DiCaprio,
Mark
Wahlberg's in it, and
the best part of the movie, the number 1 part of the movie, in my opinion, a better bad guy than in No Country for Old Men.
Crazy.
Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson was ruthless. He was a piece of crap. He was racist as could be. He was absolutely insane, and he had all the qualities that you need for a good bad guy. I don't know if you need racists.
The craziest thing about it is that was the first time Martin Scorsese, the director, ever won an Academy Award for Best Director. When he has done movies like The Goodfellas, Gangs of New York.
The Goodfellas?
That's the name of the movie.
It's not
Goodfellas. You gotta say the, because it's so awesome.
Yeah, it just shows that the Academy Awards have no idea what they're
Most of them don't even watch the movies. But moving on, past that now, we got number 4 coming up.
Number 4, 300.
Gerard Butler was in 300, wasn't he?
Gerard Butler was in 300. It
Yes.
kind of made his career. That's kind of the first time I noticed who he was. I thought
It was a great movie. I don't know. I mean, the movie's just awesome. Like, I don't know.
It brought in a new visual effect.
Visual effects were great in it.
It's it's got a fun story.
Of course,
great story there.
Tagline, "This is Sparta." Then he kicks him in. Everybody says that now. 300 is a great movie. It really
Visually stunning.
Visually stunning. So that's all you can really say about it. Check it out.
Okay, now on to my favorite bad guy of all time. By far.
I thought Jack Nicholson was your favorite bad guy.
No, I say he was great. He was the other guy.
Okay.
Let's do the movie review, Jay.
Let's do
the movies.
I want to do it.
Top 10. Number 3, Training Day. Was awesome simply for the fact that Denzel Washington was awesome.
Because that was so different from what Denzel Washington had ever done before.
Yeah.
Like, so different. Like, every time before that, he'd been a good guy, kind of a reliable, strong, honest person up front. And in this movie, he's shady. He's violent, but it really worked for him in that movie.
Yeah, and the whole time they really put you in Ethan Hawke's position because you're sitting there in the car with Denzel Washington.
And what would you do? Like that? It's almost like,
what cop do you know gets in a car that has hydraulics?
Because Ethan Hawke and Denzel Washington really played off each other so well in that movie. And you've got the rookie cop that's got all these great ideas and how he's going to save the world, and then you got this other cop that's been on the streets and he knows what it's like and he's doing whatever it takes to get by, I guess, to make himself better off, and who cares if he's got to step on a few people along the way. But then that's what he's trying to impart that wisdom onto it. But it's such a great movie. I mean, there's not much more you can say about it.
We have number 2. Could have been number 1. We had a hard time deciding because it's such a great movie. The Hurt Locker.
Awesome.
With Jeremy Renner in it. Didn't really know much about Jeremy Renner except for he's one of those guys that you notice in his little roles. He was in 28 Weeks Later.
Yeah.
You notice him, but once they put him in this role and they gave him a chance to actually act,
he steals the scene.
You
like
realize
every time he's in the scene, you're like, what's he gonna do? Like,
that guy,
you're like focused on him. He's really good.
Yeah, I mean the guy's just like a ticking time bomb. He could lose it in any second.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
he did a great job.
And I love like when the audio is like turned up really loud, but there's no music, so it's really suspenseful. And he's walking down the street to go disarm this bomb because he plays in the bomb squad in that movie, and it's like, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if he's going to step on an IEDs. It was just the whole atmosphere of that movie was just so good.
They really put you in the action.
They really do, yeah. Our number 1 movie, which like we said was hard to come because Hurt Locker is such a great movie. What are you going to put above that? Well, we're going to put
Gladiator. Jay, there's one side note to this movie that I guess you could call it a critique, but it's Shay's favorite part of the movie.
It's not my favorite part. It's not my favorite part. The part he's referring to is the part where he gets back and he finds out that his wife and son has been, crucified. His house has been ransacked, and his wife and son are like they've been crucified. And like he walks over to the wife and she burned up and stuff. And he kisses her feet and he's crying. It's an emotional scene, right? But you're like, I'm sad. But then all of a sudden he pulls back and this gloop of snot and saliva and gook was on his face. And you're like, can they not pull the camera back for 2 seconds so I can not throw up? And I was like, why do you have to have that on that part of the movie? It's nasty.
Yeah.
But that's not even the point. The Gladiator is a number 1 on our list. Why?
It's probably the most entertaining movie in my opinion of all those, and that's why I like it the most. It's got a great
supporting cast is great.
Great supporting cast. I like Joaquin Phoenix a lot as an actor, and he did such a good job in this movie that I actually hated his guts. You're just like, I can't wait till the sissy gets punched in the nose.
When you hate a guy, any kind of guy that you just can't stand, or you can't wait till they die or whatever, that's when you know you got a good bad guy.
Yeah. So I'm noticing a theme with this. A great action movie these days
equals great bad guys.
Equals great villains.
Yep.
It's got great action scenes. It's a very quotable movie. The hero has an awesome name, Maximum Aurelius.
That is awesome. I'm gonna name my kid Maximus Aurelius one day. But no, because people will call him Maxi Pad or something. It wouldn't work.
So that's our top 10 list.
Yep.
Honorable mentions.
Just go ahead and run through them.
Taken with Liam Neeson.
Great movie.
Almost made it. Got Inglourious Bastards was an honorable mention. That probably should have made the list. We had a really hard time kicking these out. National Treasure. Smoking Aces.
Walking Tall. Death Sentence. Shoot 'Em Up. And The Island. And finally, the last one that didn't get in, and he fought me on it, and I had to finally relent, was Law Abiding Citizen. It's a freaking great movie. But of course, he's right. It didn't really fit into what the top 10 was about. But it's an awesome. Movie.
It's too unrealistic for me. I can suspend so much belief. But I mean, come on, man. That movie could never happen in real life. But I liked it. I enjoyed it.
It was a great movie, yeah. So that's our honorable mentions list. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, comment below. Yeah, let us know what your top 10's list, and we'll see you next time, guys.
A lot of people hate Mel Gibson now, but he's the Patriot. Give me that. And that really.
Julia Stiles was all 3, but that means nothing. But go ahead.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like you say, Daniel Craig, really? Moving on, number 6.
The Departed. This has everybody.
No, that's actually number 5.
5. 8. Edit. And. Number 6.
6.
6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. No Country for Old
Men. Oh my god. We're twins.
No Country for Old Men.
Calm down.
I can't help it. I got the giggles. The bad guy he walks around with that tank and he's like, call it Friends with His Tail.
It's got like plethora of like so many different actors in it. I mean, it's got like if you throw another movie, I'm gonna throw your head. Gangs of New York. Stop laughing and get me off topic. Yes, we do. And
I should have thrown that one. That was a Blu-ray. That's expensive.
Your face is not expensive after I break it.
Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke
with Russell Crowe.
Are you not entertained?
I am entertained by this movie.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like walking.
He's wacky. He's a wacky Joaquin. Well, we watched the movie.
Yeah, they didn't watch the movie. We watched the movie.